Welcome everybody to this afternoon's webinar. Whether you are, it's your evening or your morning, it's our afternoon here in Australia. So welcome to our Discover Redox presentation. My name is Julie Watts. I'm a triple diamond with ASEA, and I have been involved with this incredible company for the past 5.5 years. The company and the product have totally changed my life and certainly changed my lifestyle. I've had the chance to meet amazing people, make new friends, and travel the world. I've seen a lot more of the world than I ever thought I would have in the last few years. Of course, COVID's put a stop to that for a little while, but hopefully we'll all get back on track at some point and get going again. But I live on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, and again, very happy to be with you this afternoon. So today's webinar is going to be in 3 parts. So first of all, we're going to have Stevie share the ASEA breakthrough and opportunity with us. The opportunity at the end and the breakthrough first. And then we're going to have a wonderful, powerful testimonial from the wonderful Dan Doyle. And then we're going to have Q&A at the end. Hopefully we'll have some time for that. And can you please pop any questions that you may have in the chat box for Stevie, please? So without further ado, I would love to introduce Stevie Aquilina to you. Stevie and Sarah are platinum executives with ASEA. They actually homeschool 4 boys, quite amazingly. What a wonderful job. And live on the Gold Coast now in Australia. They've moved from New South Wales up to us. Yay, to sunny Queensland. Welcome. They are very, very passionate, well-known and well-loved leaders in ASEA. They are totally committed to ASEA's mission, which is to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world. I think Stevie and Sarah have been with ASEA for about 5.5 years now. And, you know, it was that long ago that they actually made the best decision they ever made, and that was to join ASEA. And that was about the same time that I did, and it was the best decision I ever made as well. So please, please make welcome Stevie Aquilina.
Hey, Julie, thank you so much. I should be introducing you because you are an amazing leader, incredible and inspirational and beautiful. You're looking better than the last time I saw you.
It's the ASEA. The Renew 28.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being here and looking after us and the kind introduction. And you are an inspiration. And I know that your good work and your help extends out to everyone, not just your team, and extends globally as well, because I know that your heart beats with the mission of this company. And that's why I like aligning myself with people just like you. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, folks, for joining us. And I appreciate the value you're giving me today, because you're giving me your time, and that's not something I can refund to you. Money, if you paid to be here, I could refund that to you, but not your time. So I'm incredibly grateful that you have spent that with me, and I don't intend to waste it. The information I have to share with you is of high priority because the impact and difference that it is making in people's lives is significantly deep. It was passed on to me 5.5 years ago now, and it's been high priority from almost immediately that point for me to get it out to everyone. I feel compelled. I feel like a sense of duty and obligation to get it out to everyone because of how significant it is. So I hope that I can deliver this to you clearly, and I hope for the sake of your loved ones too, I'll be able to assist you. We'll be able to assist you in delivering this out clearly to others as well. So here's why I'm saying these words. What I'll be sharing with you is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical doctors, medical experts say that this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. This is an exciting and entirely new frontier in science that for 2 decades, science had declared was impossible. It's a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world authority laboratory medical studies. Very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time, and any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results. And drug companies wanted it shut down. I don't think they wanted you to know about it, but more about that a little later. So before I tell you what this is, let's get absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you have ever seen before. This is not a drug. It's not a vitamin. It's not minerals. They're not antioxidants or antioxidant formulas. It's also not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, central oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser light truths, magical 5,000-year-old tree, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of that other stuff that's already out there. Again, this is nothing like you've ever seen before. Instead, what we'll be sharing and talking about is an entirely new frontier in science that goes, believe me, well beyond nutrition. In fact, goes well beyond any type of ingredients you already know about. This is a truly groundbreaking and category-creating healthcare breakthrough. ASEA Redox cell signaling technology contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they're made in your body. So they are native to your body. Redox signaling molecules are the cellular messengers that affect cell signaling, cell-to-cell communication, all the way down to your gene expressions in a positive way. Now, redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that allows your body to regenerate tissue and maintain health. By allowing your cells to detect and protect healthy cells, detect and repair unhealthy cells, and detect and replace damaged cells. So basically, redox signaling empowers your body to heal itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Therefore, your body functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this so important? Because you're all made of cells. We are all made of cells. Every single part of us, head to toe, inside out. We live and die at the cellular level. Healthy cells, healthy life. They're the keys to life, redox signaling molecules. They're essential for the function of our normal physiology. All of our biochemical and physiological processes in our body critically depend on redox signaling in and among our cells. I mean critically, because if all of our cells were to suddenly stop making these redox signaling molecules right now, we wouldn't live longer than just a few more seconds. Without our redox signaling molecules, life ends. Now, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, can run around all day and not wake up sore the next, and how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And our body's ability to make as many redox signaling molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, clear cellular instructions, our whole cellular protection and healing processes that we just spoke about become slow and sluggish. As such, our cells break down even further, and with it, so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. Now, ASEA takes science seriously, and so doesn't do any scientific studies themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA Redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in every body. Now, this is serious science. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. So, since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, the National Library of Medicine, and you punched in redox signaling, you would see well over 30,000, 33,000 results pop up. And this slide is already out of date. It's a very difficult one for me to keep up with because there's almost 150 studies coming out almost every single month. There are over 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling molecules. So according to medical researchers, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. I'll give you a couple of examples. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and world redox congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. But wait, there's more. These genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. On top of that, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. That's 8 times better than what your body can do without ASEA. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Head professors of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what they called disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now that is significant. It's had doctors doing backflips out of their chairs when they saw these results, because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. Big deal. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. Safer than the stuff you drink out of the tap, certainly, but safer than the stuff you drink out of your own drinking bottles too. 0% toxicity. ASEA is the safest thing you can put in your body because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and or healthier. All we're doing with ASEA is putting them back into our bodies. And so whether you have a health challenge or whether you have people that you care for who do, or if you have a wish that you could look, live and feel younger again, if you have the good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, or whether you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But rather than taking just my word for it, let's hear from some medical doctors right now on what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it. People need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Okay, so now that we've spoken a bit about cellular health from the inside out, which can be a little bit tricky to see, now let's talk about it from the outside in, and that can be easier to see. So this part gets a little bit exciting, and it's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28 Revitalizing Redox Gel and Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. Now these Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by their complementary all-natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture speaks 1,000 words. So let's let some of these pictures speak to you now. What you're going to see is more than anti-aging effects. You're going to see in many regards age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles being smoothed out and an elasticity coming back to the skin. And inflammations, irritations, aggravations, and other signs of poor health to the skin being rejuvenated, being replenished, being renewed. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are being brought back to the proper levels of the skin. Now, all of these pictures here are of the same person, even though the two on the left look dramatically different. These are of Rosie. Rosie didn't think the products were working because Rosie didn't take these pictures. Her doctor did, who was the one who recommended ASEA to her. So moral of this story, number one, when you get back to your family member or friend to get started, and because you naturally want to see how this goes, take pictures. That's how you see how this goes. And anything you can't take pictures of, keep score of it. Make sure you write it down. Second moral of this story is people notice results very quickly. 7 weeks, some in 7 days, some in 7 minutes. Lots of people that I talk to have results in 7 minutes. However, other people, they can take longer. They need to apply more product, more time, more patience if they have more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are redox signaling molecules. They're the same in everyone, same in you, same in me, same also in all species that are alive on this earth, animals and plants. So it would be scientifically impossible, and it's been proven in studies that for redox to not work in you. Scientifically impossible for it to not work. It works in every single person, every single time. What does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, on the note of noticing changes, this is Dr. Marty Moran. He decided to do a scientific experiment on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you notice which side he did use it on versus what side he did not? Let's see if we can spot the difference together. I'll give you the clues. Have a look at the lines running down either side of the corner of the mouth. Noticing anything different? What about the line that runs down either side of the nose? What about the cheeks? Do you think there's more definition in wrinkles, maybe bagginess or bunchiness of the skin on one side more than the other? Are you spotting the difference yet? Have a look at maybe perhaps the biggest clue of all, how those glasses seem to be slanting to one side of the face. I don't know, maybe at least in my opinion, suggesting there might be more droopiness on one side of the face as opposed to the other. So thank you sincerely, Dr. Marty Moran. Every time I see this gentleman, I thank him because he literally walked around like a weirdo, like this for 28 days, just to prove how effective Renew 28 was. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Not just for your face, arms, hands, bellies, and even bums. These are pictures from a study performed by a very renowned and world-leading laboratory. This scientific organization did this study because there were lots of reports coming in from all around the world that people were seeing their cellulite disappear, and they were attributing it to the time that they'd been using Renew 28. And so the scientists in this organization set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see if there was any truth to all of these stories. And what they found was that after 12 weeks, there was in fact a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover why this was happening, they saw the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved post the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture and smoothing the skin, supports skin cell renewal for not just visibly younger looking skin, but actual healthier skin. Renew 28 also helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as perhaps shaving or sun exposure. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. Now you can know if a SEA works in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, neck, shoulders, elbows, hands, fingers, back, hip, knees, ankles, wherever, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on the point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of that discomfort within approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Now, nothing that I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that's going on with you, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. But what I'd like to do at this point, if I could quickly hand it back to you, Julie, I would like to hear from my best mate, actually, who's had a life-changing redox experience to share.
Wow, thank you so much, Stevie. I love listening to your presentation on ASEA. You do it with such gusto and belief. It's really amazing. So yes, I would really like to have a little chat about our friend Dan Doyle. I've known Dan for a few years now. I actually knew Dan before ASEA, and I think probably Stevie did as well. And he does have a really true, powerful testimonial, one of the best. He has built and sold many traditional businesses during his life. And his life was really great, and him and his wonderful, lovely wife, Susanna, were doing really, really well. And then, of course, as sometimes things happen, life throws you a curveball. And this was a nasty curveball. And Dan is going to share that story with you himself in a minute. But today, happily, Dan and Susanna live in the beautiful Hawaii. And he is one of the very, very, very top income earners in the whole of ASEA. And I have to say, it is totally, totally well deserved. He is one of the hardest workers I know in ASEA. He is still passionate about sharing ASEA every single day, and a most wonderful man, and a lot of us owe a lot to him. So please welcome Mr. Dan Doyle.
Wow, thank you, Julian. Thanks for joining us on this call. What an intro. Sent shivers through me, because it just reminds me of everything that we've been through and gone through and the journey to where we are today. So thank you so much. Thank you, Stevie. Thanks for this presentation. Looking forward to sharing my story. And that's what we do with ASEA. We don't sell anything. We don't sell. We tell. We share our stories. And just so you can concentrate, I'll take you off me. I'll come back to you at the end of the presentation. But yeah, so what an incredible journey. Who would have thought that we'd be spending all this time in Hawaii now and traveling the world like we have? But just going back a short 6 years ago, totally losing my health. And this is my journey from no health to health, thanks to this incredible breakthrough. And as Stevie went through, this is unlike anything that you've ever heard of in the past. We have these magical little molecules, these amazing molecules that signal the body to heal itself. And it's the missing ingredient, the missing piece of anybody's puzzle to help maintain their health and potentially get their health back from whatever they're going through. So if there's anybody new on this call, somebody's handed you a gift that you may or may not open. So we're simply here to share this information with you to help you to make a decision whether you want to open that gift and use that gift or not. This is that vehicle that can take you to potentially anywhere you want to go as far as health and financially. So I'm going to start off with my story from no health to health. And as Stevie said, and just like to reiterate that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But we have these amazing little molecules that can signal the body to heal itself. So I grew up in Sydney, Australia, played a lot of sports, rugby, judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing, and this thing called bodybuilding. This was the start of me going into traditional business from working in the banking system for many years in Australia. And I wanted to be a product of the product, obviously being in health and fitness, and I was a bodybuilder at the age 24 years old. And as Julie said, the beginning of building and selling many traditional businesses over the next 2 decades, employing about 3,500 people. Fast forward from 24 to 44, this is a picture of me, still keeping fit and healthy. I was leading to the age of 50, the big 50, 6 years after this photo, and I wanted to be in the best physical condition that I could be at the age of 50. And unfortunately, this was the end of my entrepreneurial days, because 6 months after this photo was taken, doctors gave me some really bad news in 2011. This is a picture of me on the right with no hair from the top of my head to my toes, going through 2.5 years of what I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, 2.5 years in and out of a hospital in Sydney, doing some terrible things to me over that period of time. As a matter of fact, throughout that duration, there was a period of time that I didn't want to live anymore because it was such a hard thing to go through. This is a friend of mine, Johnny Manor, played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He'd been through all those hospital visits that I'd started in this photo. The age of 21, he was in remission. After this photo was taken, he went back into hospital because his problem came back. Mind you, he had the good one and I had 2 of the bad ones. And unfortunately, Johnny didn't come out of hospital. We lost him at the age of 23 years old. Very sad time. So at the end of what I went through in those days, those hospital visits, 2.5 years, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. And I was pretty angry, thinking that I was going to be okay. So at that point, I made the decision to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands, which I really teach these days that we need to do that. We can't leave the responsibility of our health into our doctor's hands, which I did back then, unfortunately. And I started on an alkaline diet, became a pescatarian. I ate fish, vegetables, salad, pure water, drinking water, and I tried to get my body into an alkaline state. I also spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from a lot of different companies from all around the world. Now, you would think my body would have been heading in the right direction from doing all that, but this is the result after 2 years. My blood works was still heading in the wrong direction, and I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. So this photo was taken in 2014. Long story short, a friend of mine called me about ASEA. I jumped on a plane, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, to the ASEA headquarters, started on the product. In 3 hours, my body was detoxing so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. 12 hours, a 20-year caffeine intolerance had gone away. Any more than 2 coffees, I'm buckled over in discomfort all day and bloating and not feeling good at all. That issue had gone in 12 hours. In 48 to 72 hours, I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital. I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect. So after my visit to the States, just a short few days, I went back to Australia. I kept drinking the ASEA. Fast forward 12 months, 2015, the day the doctors gave me some really good news and told me on this day, no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports have gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose had gone away. My whole body had rebuilt from top to bottom in just over 1 year on this product. Fast forward to 2017, 3 years on the product, you can see the anti-aging side of what these molecules can do for our bodies, because what you're seeing here is a reflection of what was happening on the inside of my body in 2014 at that time. What you're seeing here 1 year later is a reflection of what was happening in my body at that time from what you're seeing on the outside. 3 years on the product, skin looking much better, looking healthier, feeling healthier. This is a reflection of how my body was performing on the inside at that time. So that was my journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. I would have never expected that 6 years ago, from what the doctors were telling me, I'd be in this condition today. Could have never have imagined that sharing these molecules with people, helping a lot of people around the world, it would also not just bring us back physically, but also financially, because when I lost my health, we lost everything financially. So it's been an incredible journey on 2 fronts, returning health and taking us back to financial freedom. We do travel the world a lot, and as Julie said, COVID has slowed us down a bit, but we still can share this with a lot of people by this Zoom platform, which is just incredible. This has created a life and a lifestyle that my wife Susan and I could have never imagined. As I said, 6 years ago, no health. We were living in a van, almost went to the Salvation Army for food stamps, and now we can do what we want when we want to do it. So I've been looking for many, many years to be able to leave as a legacy to humanity, to people to remember me by, and I was trying to do that through traditional business, and I could never do that. We have a vehicle now, a platform that can do many things for many people. So with that, I'm going to hand back to Julie. Actually, Stevie's going to talk about the opportunity now, and then we'll get back to Julie to go through a bit of a Q&A with you guys.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Dan. And I'm so glad that you found this technology, and then forever grateful that you passed it on to us, because you didn't know at the time when you gave me a call that my father was facing an incredibly scary situation with his health. In fact, a concern on his life. And that's what it's about. Just pick up the phone, because you never know. You never know. And I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't have just picked up the phone and decided to tell me. So I thank you greatly.
Yeah, you know, Stevie, the biggest regret that I have and still have, and people have, is when they find out about this. When I found out about this, I waited 5 months before I started sharing it with people. And for me, looking back now, because the science is there, the validation is there on the product, on what we have. So there's no real, you know, I'm going to try the product, see how it goes. It's scientifically impossible not to work. It's something that I regret, and people do regret these days. So I encourage everybody, once they see what we have, with you explaining the opportunity, to to get on the product and start sharing it from day one. Because I think what happened to me, I recognized it was the miracles happening around me that gave me the belief, not what was happening on myself, because things were happening too quick. So to get this to you, and then, you know, obviously through the organization, eventually to Julie, and see how it helped her and how it helped your family and what it's been doing, you know, what it does for other people. It's just, it's where the belief comes from. Seeing results in people you personally know. Back to you, brother.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. And yeah, so I'm glad you did for your sake, and then my father's sake, and my mother-in-law's sake, and now many people's sake now. And also you allowed, I mean, when you said that you're living a life that you couldn't imagine, I could imagine it. I'd imagined it for a long time. The problem was I didn't have access to it. And now you've allowed us a pathway into that too. And, you know, we're living a life now that was once just a dream to us, and watching you're way ahead of us. It's only going to get better. It's unbelievable. So what I'll do is I'll jump in, folks, and I'll show you how you can follow Dan too, and get access to that life, you know, and pay for it with thank you checks. Thank you check, because with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity to make a living while bettering people's lives. And ASEA is the most compelling opportunity in the world for some of these following reasons I'm going to share with you right now. It is first and foremost the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for two simple reasons. Number one, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented. So that means it can't be copied, but not only is it not allowed to be copied, it can't be copied, literally, because there's no way to look into a bottle and reverse engineer ASEA, because there are trade secrets in making ASEA. So it's not allowed to be copied, and it can't be copied anyway. And so that means we have no copycats. That means we will have no copycats. And that means no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has. Everyone needs it. It's not about whether they're going to love it. That's important too. They need it, but no one else has it. No other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them, because none of them have redox signaling molecules. And redox works on everybody. Nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. And again, everybody needs it. Scientifically, they need it. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And again, ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from, and nothing else out there can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body, no matter what the health goal, what the health challenge, what sector of health someone has interest in. No one can do what this product does. ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. Now, our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help a lot of people, and we can't do that all on our own. And so we're looking for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just from sharing redox with others. You receive an ongoing income, not only from the first purchase, but also from every single lifelong ongoing purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. And guess what? You can refer as many people as you like, so that income is unlimited, uncapped. And it grows even more, because on top, you also receive an ongoing income from the lifelong ongoing purchases made by every single person those other people refer, and those other people who refer other people, and so on. So just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, or whatever, people tell people, who then naturally tell other people, who then tell even more people. It's called word of mouth marketing. And word of mouth marketing is not just the most ancient, but still today, above and over all the rest, the number one, not just most powerful, but most effective form of marketing in the world. There's no limits. Think about this, especially with how connected the whole world is in today's age. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening up new markets almost every single year based on existing trends, not guesswork, but numbers. The annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. So for people who are looking for an extra or a part-time, or I just wish I could afford more time, or a full-time or a big time, or maybe a legacy leaving income for generations of loved ones, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. For people who are switched on, smart, business-minded, for people who've been wanting to be in the right place at exactly the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing when it's coming their way, this is a very significant opportunity to make a very significant difference in people's lives, be paid very significant residual thank you checks, income, money from the growth of this global expansion. Now, really, at the end of the day, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do right here with ASEA. Who we become and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make great money here, that's for sure. And you can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. Now, this is the type of lifestyle I was mentioned before that I just did not have access to. You can go to great locations and meet great people, make great friends, make best friends, have great experiences and a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, just to pull it back to the truth, it's the effect we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies there is. At the end of the day, it is people that matter most. Now, why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And maybe you are actually, because there are now hundreds of doctors all over the world recommending Redox to their patients because they're seeing unprecedented results. But the truth, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those big drug companies offered to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights and ownership to the ASEA Redox technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down and they wanted everyone taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son Tyler Norton, they had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in doing that deal with the big drug companies. Because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once not just left them, but their doctors too feeling hopeless, to then experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this great change in people, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they said no to the big pharma payout and yes to the people. You see, what had started as just a big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down the huge sums of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite, speed up the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's most guiding principles was demonstrated here in this decision, and that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. Now, that's what they do in every single decision they make, in every single step they take. The ASEA founders, look, they are from very exceptional backgrounds. Them and their corporate team come from exceptional backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They are exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, famous, household name companies, but their corporate soul is something that they never sell out. And it's also what makes them unique and truly first class. To them and to all of us, again, at the end of the day, it's people that matter most. And so you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Don't worry about what the time is. They'll be glad to hear from you. Let them know what you've seen here and what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of university studies, but Here's what's most important. There are hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to see a seer is the real deal. So let me ask you, do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Start by doing it with one person, and that person is you. And then if you just be kind enough to pick up the phone, like Dan was kind enough to pick up the phone and call me, and pass this information on for many, many others, then you can better the lives of many, many others. And mark my words, your life will become better in many, many ways, perhaps more than you've ever imagined. Become part of this Redox reality and you can become more. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy. May you always be well. And thank you, Dan, and thank you so much, Julie. I'll hand it back to you if you want to drop in any last words.
You're very welcome. Wonderful. The opportunity of a seer is like nothing else on the planet. There is no other network marketing company or word of mouth marketing company, or however you want to say it, that is like a seer, that has a product like a seer, that can do what a seer can do. And, you know, like Dan, I waited a whole year before I opened my mouth about a seer. And the only reason I did it was because my life changed so much. I was always sick, and I was always had stuff all over me, and I was always sick. And then people started saying, wow, you haven't been sick. You haven't had anything on your face. What's going on? And it's like, and I'd tell them and they'd say, well, can I try that? And kind of fell into the business. And as a lot of people do that share a seer, you know, a lot of people start with the product and then end up sharing. But please, as Dan, don't wait. I wish so much that I hadn't waited to do that. So much, because I know just with what I've done, how many lives that I have changed, and constantly today and yesterday still getting messages, you know, to me that's thank you, you know, goosebumps and things from people calling to say what the product's done for them just over the last few days. And it happens constantly, as I'm sure it does to you guys. So you don't need to wait for your own experience. There's thousands and thousands of people out there that have had experiences that you can draw on. So, you know, the fact that Dan did what he did and started to share when he did changed your life. I know, Stevie, and your families, it's certainly changed mine and a lot of people I know. And it's like, you know, you throw a stone out in the ocean, that little ripple, just one person to the next person to the next person to the next person, and all of a sudden you have people in different countries around the world that are having amazing experiences, and not just with health but also with wealth, because we were in a really, really bad place at that time too, and the seer has totally changed our outcome, and I'll be forever grateful for that. So thank you, Dan.
Pretty amazing and satisfying what we do, isn't it? I mean, to have something where you don't have to be hoping and praying that it works for somebody. Like anything we recommend in the past, we've got this, you know, these amazing little molecules, scientifically impossible not to work, comes in at every single angle when it comes to health. And, you know, to share this with people, for it to get to people and to change and save lives, you know, the people that we'll never meet, just blows my mind.
I know, that's the amazing part, isn't it? It's like, just because you said something, it's gone boom, 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 and all over the world.
Yeah.
And never be afraid to open your mouth. That's what I tell people, because that's the biggest problem that people have. They're scared to say something, and you know what? You should never be scared to say something, ever.
No, wherever I am, if I'm shopping in our little mall here or whatever I'm doing, and I talk to everybody about this, and I suppose it's a great time. Everybody's concerned about their health at the moment. You know, I say that this is the perfect storm for us and what we've got, and for our business. People are looking for a solution to their health issues, especially with what's going on. And you know, in horrendous economic times, people still, they'll pay anything to look after their health. Now this is a double whammy.
Yeah.
And now there's so many people out of work around the world. This is a true home-based business. I mean, how much did you do from your home, and me and Stevie, and didn't even have to walk out the front door? Look how many people we got this to just from doing that.
Yeah. Yep. Thousands. There's actually a question in the chat box about somebody with hypertension medications and whatever for the past 10 years.
Cut off the recording and we'll get into